This is DJ Rose Danielle, and I guess I'm guest crashing today in the garage with Diesel. Diesel's working the board for me. We've got, are you saying, you're going to say hi? Okay, he just waved. He just waved hello.
Shy.
Today, that's my drum roll. The big show is on. We've been hyping this interview up like for a while, and we've actually got, I have to practice this. Levator. We've got Levator in studio, and why don't we just want to introduce ourselves first?
Sure. My name is Sky Lynn, and I play guitar and sing.
My name's Nate Henry, and I play saxophone and a little bit of keyboards.
Hey, my name's Jeremy, and I play bass, and I play at keyboards, and
Generally looks good.
Noise and
Okay.
organs.
Right. Noise, organs, and keyboards. Awesome. Let's go on and get the first question out of the way. Explain the name for me.
I began Levator in '03, and my little sister and I were roommates, and she was going to school to be a licensed massage practitioner. And I'm really bad at picking names. I can pick titles of songs okay. Well, no, that's a lie. And I had a show coming up, this very first show. Couldn't come up with anything, and she goes, well, how about Levator Palpebre? And I thought, well, I can barely say that.
That's a mouthful.
I'll take the first word. And so that was it. That's how it started.
Okay, so thanks, little sis.
Yeah.
All right. We've actually got 3 people in studio. Now, normally do you work with 3 people? Because are you kind of a one-woman band?
We actually have a drummer as well, but he couldn't make this tour, so
Okay.
we're one short.
We're a trio this time.
All right, what are you doing for drums on this tour?
Nothing.
Kind of like that.
All right.
People get into it.
It works.
Yeah.
It works. Now, you just mentioned the tour. You've got a big show tonight in Long Beach. Why don't you give me some info on that?
Sure, we're playing at the Prospector,
Okay.
and we're playing with Katie the Pest and
Oh.
Matt Death and the New Intellectuals.
Okay.
So it should be pretty fun.
All right, so that's the Prospector tonight. Get down there. Okay, you are on tour for Jackson Highway, Barnes Drive.
Yeah, it's an old highway.
Okay.
So it's going south on I-5 from Seattle down to London.
All right. If you check out the website, you can see the album cover. It's actually pretty evocative. We pull up big words here. This is your second CD, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And you are touring right now. Tell me a little bit about actually making this. You already had one under the belt, now you're going back in the studio. Tell me about the process of getting this CD out.
Sure. Well, the first one took me about a year, from buying the computer, the software, collecting all the gear, and from start to having the CD in my hand. And for the second one, I really wanted to set an environment for it. So I asked my dad if I could go record in his house, and I grew up on a ranch in Oregon, in a really old farmhouse. So he was like, yeah, come on down. So I would pack up all my stuff every Friday night after I worked Monday through Friday,
Right.
8 to 5. And I would drive down every Friday night and record all weekend and drive back Sunday night and go to work Monday. So I did it for, I believe, 3 months. It just kind of, it was awesome. I sat in my studio looking out the window over the pasture and you would see elk and
Well, that's
it was cool.
pretty interesting that you say you set out with the goal to create a mood or an atmosphere, because you can really hear that in the CD. This is a good interview when the questions just kind of roll. But you said with the first CD, you bought your CD and your editing software. This is very do-it-yourself.
Yeah, so far.
Okay, and how is that working out? Because as it's become so much easier for people to record and edit and release. Let's see, Jackson Highway, Barnes Drive is available at CD Baby. If you go to the website, there's a link. You know what? I'm also going to go on and do some other plugs. You can check them out at www.levatormusic.com, LevatorMusic.com, and you have a MySpace. Is it Levator Music?
It's just Levator.
Okay, so MySpace.com, Levator. So check those out. Both of the CDs are available at CD Baby. Let's see. let's phrase this here. You're pretty much the master of your own destiny. How's that feel? I mean, do you get some artistic freedom there? Is there a little bit of fear? You know, you got to do everything.
I haven't. Well, I might have been scared a few times, but it is awesome. You know, just sitting in a room, and I've been in the studio with other bands, being a guest vocalist, or laying down some clarinet, or just odd things. And it's like, they're paying a lot of money, and they only have a certain amount of time, and it definitely adds a pressure and a little nervousness. But sitting in your own room with your own stuff and on your own time schedule, I mean, one of those, and everything's live, nothing's looped, nothing's adjusted to fix the key. So it's like, I might have recorded a bass line 57 times, honestly.
Just to get it right.
Just to get it exactly how I wanted it. I'm not exaggerating.
If you were in a studio, you might have only been able to afford to record that bass line and nothing.
Right.
And make do with what you have. We're going to hang on to that, doing everything live, and come back to that. But I'm going to move on to the other members of the band. Nate, all right, tell me a little bit about your musical history. How did you end up in this band? What's going on?
Well, actually, Jeremy and I used to practice next door to each other,
Okay.
and we used to practice in a rehearsal studio that Sky worked at.
Okay.
And so that's how I met both of them. Kind of kept in touch with Jeremy, and when he said that he was going to try and play with Sky, I told him to try and make sure that she wanted some sax also.
Because you just happen to know a good sax player.
Right.
Deal? All right.
I had a card for a good sax player,
Okay.
and I thought I'd pass it along to her.
Got some contacts. So outside of that, just that session work, or have you done
I've been
work
playing in rock bands for about 12 years. It's kind of rough in Seattle to be a sax player and play rock and roll music, but
well, Seattle used to have it has been known for having kind of a jazz scene. I think
Right.
Quincy Jones and
Yeah.
well, awesome.
but
You also had your own horn section.
yeah, I've got a horn section that kind of for hire plays with a bunch of different bands.
Horns are hot. All right, so
I think so.
Duh. All right, let's move on over to Jeremy. Tell me a little bit about how you got here. This is the fill in the spots part.
End of last year, actually before that, going back like 3 or 4 years back when I first met Nate. How we met is, we rehearsed next to each other, but I used to hear their bass lines through the wall, and then when they would stop playing, I would learn their bass lines and play it through the wall.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Just to freak them out a little bit.
Makes us angry.
We actually got flooded. The rehearsal space flooded, so I had to call and warn him, so I tracked him down, and that's kind of when we started talking and hanging out a little bit. But when I moved on to another band, Sweet Jesus actually played with Skies of the band, Blue Light Curtain, and when that band fell apart, I approached her to play bass with Levator.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I may have asked this question already. You guys have been together for 3 years now?
Levator started in 03.
Okay, that's where I got the 3 from.
Yeah.
And it's 07 now, so.
These guys came on at the beginning of this year.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, before we went to that, you were talking about recording the bass line for Blank. Is that
Oh,
correct?
I can't remember what song I recorded.
Just a.
So many tracks, but luckily next time Jeremy will be recording.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we're going to listen to something on here. I just randomly queued up Blank, but is there something else you want to?
Oh no, that's fine.
All right. So let's take a listen. We're listening to Blank off of Levator's Jackson Highway Barnes Drive. You can pick it up at CD Baby. You can see him tonight at the Prospector. That show starts at 9 p.m. Get there at 7 anyway. What could you possibly do between 7 and 9? Exactly. But we can't say that.
I mean,
But get there early. Sometimes there's incentives for being there early. But yeah, so they're going to be playing tonight at the Prospector in Long Beach. You can pick up the album on CD Baby. We'll get all this info out on the website. So are we ready to go? We're going to roll track number 7.